Welcome to KiwaniTalk. We're a public information show put together by the people from the Dearborn Kiwanis Club at an unusual site during unusual circumstances. My name is Gary Gardner. I'm your host. Welcome to the program. We are working during the COVID crisis, as many people are in different locations, and we're actually in the lobby of my office here in Dearborn. And we are happy to be back because we have been and still are the longest running cable access program in the entire world. We've been off since the March episode. We're taping here at the middle of August, and we're very, very happy to be back. And we're very, very happy to have as our guest tonight Jackie Lovejoy, who is the president of the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce. Jackie, welcome to the program.
Gary, thanks for having me back. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so glad we can be here, and we're doing this, and we're thankful to the City of Dearborn for helping us to provide equipment, and our director, producer, extraordinary bon vivant, Ken,
Yes.
who is doing everything for us, and we're glad to be talking about Dearborn and the Chamber of Commerce and what's going on there, because it's a big part of what goes on in Dearborn.
Right.
You're the president. How long have you been president?
It's 7 years now.
No.
Yes.
You started when you were 12 or what?
Oh, tell me more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so it's called the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce. It wasn't always that. How did the Dearborn Chamber start out, and how did it become the Dearborn Area Chamber?
Well, before I joined, Dearborn and Dearborn Heights decided to merge. And they thought best of both worlds. We have a lot of corporate anchors in our neighborhood, and we have a lot of small businesses, but Dearborn Heights really brought that bedroom community and the smaller individual business owners into the chamber and gave us a great healthy mix of big business, mid-sized business, and small business.
And I guess you can't get much bigger than Ford Motor Company. It was one of the Fortune 500 companies, one of the biggest corporations in the world. But not everybody is Ford. And what is the makeup of what are a lot of the members of the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce? Who are they? Small people?
I used to say we're a good 50-50 split between big business and small business, but as we've evolved, I really think of it in thirds. We have a third of corporate anchors. We have a third of mid-sized businesses, maybe like Les Stanford or LaFontaine. Think of the anchors like our hospitals. We're a two-college town, Henry Ford College and U of M Dearborn. Mid-sized businesses. And then we have mom and pop shops and single lawyers, and all sorts of people are members of the chamber.
And with that in mind, so people you don't have to be big or small or in between, you can join. And why would someone want to join the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce?
Well, for our anchors, they're pillars of the community, and they want, and small business. Here we are in COVID, we're trying to keep our small businesses going because they employ 80% of our workforce, right? You want to join the chamber so you have connections. If you're new in business and you need suppliers, you need help, you need a business plan, you need SBA guidance, we have all those connections. And what I say to my members is, this is your board of directors. If you're a smaller business and you have a question, I can connect you with somebody who has experience and hopefully can help you out. For my big businesses, I say, this is your test kitchen, because we're a private nonprofit membership organization. And so what happens at the chamber stays at the chamber, just like Vegas. So if you were Coca-Cola and you wanted to try out the new Coke, you could, I would still say get a confidentiality agreement, but you could test it out at the chamber and see what your fellow members think of it before you burn the old Coke recipe.
So before COVID, there was chamber meetings. You could have the eye openers or the after dinner,
After hours,
all those sort of things. What has happened to that type of? Because I imagine that's an important part of the chamber activities.
That's one of my taglines all the time. It's, I'm never going to give my life savings to a financial planner I met on the internet. Well, now I might have to meet him on Zoom. But that's the nature of it, is you get to meet somebody and see their quality and see if you click with them in an informal chamber setting in eye openers and after hours, and get to know who you want to do business with or who can help you out. So since we came out of lockdown, we have had outdoor after hours in Ford Field and doing yoga in the park. We had an after hours over in Dearborn Heights at Leader Printing and Mailing Services. And True American Notary was there, and we did a ribbon cutting on the new location, and welcome to the chamber again. There's always a reason to celebrate. And if you're outdoors And everyone has their own comfort level. Outdoors, and we're far enough apart, you and I are far enough apart, that's great. And if you're not comfortable, there's a lot of interesting masks out there now.
I've been
A lot of
seeing
comical
I've
ones,
been
yes.
seeing some very, very comical things. I saw one yesterday that I can't mention it right now.
I saw a cat in a hat.
So the chamber then has the offering of information, it has camaraderie, it has education, all those type of things. Do you do Zoom meetings too, or how are you doing the meetings? Like,
yes, absolutely. So I sit on 8 boards in the area, besides because we're all part of the fabric that makes up this area. We all help each other out. So yeah, a lot of the Rotary meetings are on Zoom. I imagine Kiwanis meetings are on Zoom now. Because the other thing is we can only have 10 people indoors if it's a banquet kind of space. So we advocate that hopefully our banquets get held to the same standard as restaurants and they're able to operate soon at 50% capacity. That's one of the things we do. I'm part of the Michigan Chamber. We're one of the 12 largest in the state. And there's over 300 chambers in the state of Michigan.
so you're right up there with the big boys.
We're lucky they have us at the table. Well, a lot of chambers are really almost like a principal shopping district. They focus on their downtown, but we have bigger issues. Dearborn's a city of 100,000. Dearborn Heights is a city of 40,000.
And then it's a manufacturing business office center, so the daytime population of Dearborn, way bigger than 100,000 people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Plus,
yeah, almost doubles.
With Henry Ford, one of the biggest tourist attractions in the world, right here too.
Open again, yes.
It's great to hear that.
Yeah, 1.8 million visitors a year. I always say when you go to dinner or you're having lunch, you don't know if you're sitting next door to your neighbor or somebody from out of the country.
And it's amazing. So, back to focusing on the COVID for a second. What kind of things can the chamber offer to people? We like to think we're getting towards the end of the COVID, and there's always this horizon. It's like being at Disney. You go through the line, you get around the corner, and then there's another line. Another line.
It's like, oh.
Whatever's going to happen from Lansing.
I'm never going to get to Space Mountain.
but what can the chamber do to help small, medium businesses deal with plans and coming down the pike?
So I'm on the board of the Michigan Association of Chamber Professionals. We have all the state of Michigan grants, loans, Wayne County grants and loans. The CARES Act has funded $50 million just for our area. So in the beginning, people were very frustrated because a lot of things opened and closed quickly. Money ran out, but it's there. And so we have all those funding options. The SBA, now they just closed the most recent round of the emergency, the EIDL loans, the economic injury disaster loans. But we have all those connections, and that's all right on the front page of my website.
Again, this is something that everybody has to be,
now,
be aware
sure.
of. More than ever, and it's so fortuitous that the web, the online presence. I wish I had stock in Zoom, but I wish I bought Apple too, but that's another story. The website. What is the web address?
Will it appear down here?
By magic, we'll
by
have
magic,
it.
Ken will make that happen for me.
Will.
It's DearbornAreaChamber.org.
Dearborn Area Chamber, just like the name of the organization.
.org.
.org. Okay. So you land on that front page, and what are you going to see? And where can someone go? What are the really cool things that people don't always navigate through to?
Any of our events are usually on the front page. So if you need to know where you're going right away, it's usually right there on the front page. We have a travel and tourism page, where to stay, all our hotel partners. We have a hospitality committee. There's all sorts of neat stuff.
How about for educational things, spreadsheets and forms, and how-to things? How about that kind of stuff?
I have a lot of that through the Michigan Chamber and the U.S. Chamber, and that's under COVID resources. Usually if somebody wants help writing a business plan, I involve SCORE, which is a member of the Chamber, the Society of Retired Executives. Business plans, we can all, of course, help somebody with that, but I don't put out templates like that. There's so much out there.
So many things out
there.
Right,
you can say, okay, Google, I need a business plan. And, that's why a lot of local apps aren't existing anymore. I don't need the the Traverse City app to find out where I'm going to go eat, because now you say, or Siri, where where's the pizza company in Traverse City?
Right. So when you have this option to join the Dearborn Chamber, let's promote the chamber. And
Yes,
so
thank you.
say a small mom and pop, like I am, a one-man band attorney, what would it take to become a member, and what would I expect? What would I get for my bucks?
Well, outside of COVID, we usually have 18 networking events a year that are complimentary to members. Our
That's 1.5 a month.
Just about, yeah. Eye openers, after hours, small business lunches, a variety of things that we put together so you ideally can see people and get together. And so we're going to have a small business lunch upcoming in a couple of our different restaurants that have outdoor space. So we'll all be distant, but we'll have our distant group together in separate tables. You get access to everybody in the chamber. If you don't know a great mechanic, if you've never eaten, now this is a stretch, if you've never eaten Middle Eastern food, you can go through the directory and find out because a chamber lends credibility. 60% of people who are just residents, and I don't want to say just residents, but don't own a business, if you have a chamber seal on your door, and we give those out every year, that improves your credibility by 60%. That was done by a Gallup poll.
So DearbornAreaChamber.org will get you to there. And what's it going to set me back? How much is it? A reasonable price, I'm sure.
Well, right now in COVID, we have join now, pay later.
Okay.
And even if you're not in COVID, even if you want to pay monthly, we'll do monthly payments. $24.95 gets a smaller business in the front door.
Okay.
Annual dues, we have a huge array, but it starts at $295 a year.
So that's a pretty good deal for what you seem to be able to get from that.
And you have access to all of us. I mean, we all have our wheelhouse of knowledge. There's myself, there's Renee Rossler, our membership director. If she sees this, it's been 13 years she's been at the chamber. Mm-hmm. Kelly Vandenbosch is our events director, and she's orchestrating a lot of stuff behind the scenes right now. And PJ Lemansky is our director of certificates of origin, something a lot of people don't know about, and our small business events.
So how are chamber members and you in particular, how are you guys communicating besides Zoom? Is this all by Zoom, or are you?
Well, we have our eye opener and after hours outside.
Right.
We did an eye opener over at the Commandant's quarters, and everyone brought their own coffee, and has a beautiful yard and a big porch just in case it rained. So people still see each other and still do things. We have our annual business awards. I do letters to the membership. We have a newsletter that goes out every other week. Facebook is, social media is its own animal, but in COVID, people being, busy looking, especially when we were all shut down, we have about between 5,000 and 9,000 views a week on our Facebook page. So we have a good run there, and that's free to my members for them to advertise. If you have something you want me to promote, let me know, and I'll put it. And we do that because it's not just come to my event, or do come to my Zoom meeting now. It's because I talk about the shredding days in Dearborn. The Press and Guide is doing a nominate your favorite business right now, a promotion. The pools are open. All those different announcements, that keeps it interesting and fresh. I do a recipe sometimes on the weekend. I take pictures of flowers. And that was the big shock to me coming into the industry, is really we're sort of an entertainment hub. And I would get 600 or 700 views of a flower picture on a weekend. So it's good for everybody.
Do you think, and put your Chamber of Commerce president crystal ball in front of you.
Okay.
And you're looking in eeny, meeny, no, that's from Rocky Bullwinkle. But how, you know what I'm talking about.
I got it, yeah.
Okay. How is what's happening today, do you think, is going to change the way that the Chamber and members of the Chamber work in the future? What's going to happen?
I think the Chamber's still going to be instrumental because we operate on a lot of sides. So certificates of origin is a great thing. One thing that hasn't slowed down in COVID is people shipping products overseas. And you need this certificate of origin, kind of like a notarized document, and only chambers can provide that. And we do in excess of 15,000 of those every year. People will still need to meet each other. Even if you and I weren't together, but I found you in my chamber directory and you and I set up our own Zoom for a consultation or something, people still need those vetted connections, somebody they can trust. And I think that's what people look for. You want to look for some continuity in all the chaos right now. Everyone has to, I equate, even though we're in the middle of a hot summer, I equate COVID to like a bad snowstorm. You have to pack your patience, drive safely, and sometimes you have to wait it out.
So the chamber has the location when we go back, which will be soon, I'm sure. Talk about where actually the physical location of the Dearborn Area Chamber is.
So our offices are in the Bryant Library, right on Michigan Avenue, next door to Buddy's Pizza. The library is doing curbside service right now. And once they get the okay, because right now all public libraries are closed to the public, but they're doing curbside service and things like that. So when the doors open, we're at 22100 Michigan Avenue.
And that's bigly between Southfield and Telegraph, smally between Outer Drive and Brady.
Exactly.
And that's in West Dearborn and right next to the pizza place there. That's
Yeah.
good. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to continue our conversation with Jackie Lovejoy, who is the president, Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce. We're going to get some words about Kiwanis. We'll come back and talk about some really other things that are going on. Normally, you've got a small window to enjoy the thing we'll be talking about. Now you're going to have a huge window. Don't go away. Welcome back to KiwaniTalk. I'm your host, Gary Gardner. On this unusual episode of KiwaniTalk, we are located outside of our normal facilities, but a place very comfortable to me in the lobby of my office here in West Dearborn. And we're talking about the COVID, we're talking about returning to normal, and talking about all things Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce with El Presidente, Jackie Lovejoy. Jackie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
It's it is good to be here back in the saddle and doing things, and we're glad to be here. And one of the things that the chamber does and promotes every year is a food event, a one-day event, but that's changed a little bit this year.
It had changed this year.
Okay, what is the name of the event?
Taste of Dearborn is usually a Wednesday in June, and it's 1,500 people up and down Michigan Avenue, and we usually have 25 to 30 restaurants. And we have, in Dearborn, people are shocked. I have one Middle Eastern restaurant. Now this year I would have had a couple more, because we've had a couple, more join the chamber and everything. And it benefits chamber restaurants because it brings people in their front door and they get to see the facility. So, and they offer a free appetizer or something.
So talk about it. A typical year, you buy a ticket for how much?
Usually $25 to $30.
Okay.
You get a wristband. You visit any of the restaurants that you want to visit. I mean, you'll be pretty full by the end of the night. And there's 1,500 people, and we provide shuttles, and people just taste different things. And my restaurants, they might want to try a new test item. They might want to give a standard dessert. Some people, Dearborn Brewing usually has Henry Ford Culinary Arts come in, and they do a little bit of food, and they have beer. They can't give out beer samples.
Right. But that's a one-day event.
But it's a one-day event, and it's a fun food event. And people are cooking, usually Bangkok 96 is out on the plaza cooking, barbecuing, Thai barbecue. It's a fun thing. And this year, there was no way we could really mitigate the crowds.
Right.
Make sure everyone stayed 6 feet apart.
Okay.
And so we changed it. We pivoted, and we're having the Taste of Dearborn takeout or dine in for the month of August.
The whole month of August.
So if anybody's watching, and this will probably be the last week of August, if you show your Taste of Dearborn receipt, you go to our website and you can choose and take your leisurely time and get carry out from 5 places, the rest of the month, and your ticket is good for 2021 as well.
So, hang on. If you get this, if you're watching the preview like I am right now, run out, buy my Taste of Dearborn
at my website.
At the website, the Dearborn Chamber.
Dearborn Area Chamber.org.
And you can probably do it online and get the thing.
Oh, sure.
And then show up at a restaurant
and use the code EARLYBIRD.
And what do you get for when you go to a restaurant? You get a discount on everything?
It's listed on the website. So Ford's Garage is offering a discount if you dine in, and they ask that you call ahead and make sure there's space for you. Because our restaurants our providers have done a beautiful job of social distancing, protecting their workers, protecting everything 6 feet apart. The Henry Hotel, TRIA, is part of Taste of Dearborn. They've done a spectacular job. People are utilizing their outdoor spaces now. So it's a great way to, if you want to eat in the comfort of your own home, or if you want to try something you haven't had before, it's a great way to sample it and,
So here we are in 20.
break up our monotony.
Here we are in 2020. You don't have to cram it all in one night.
It's not one night.
You can use it multiple nights. You can go out 5 different nights, or
Yep.
and then, wait, there's more.
It's good for 2021.
So-
and we hope to have an in-person event in 2021.
So that you get it's a twofer actually.
Yeah,
You
it's
get,
a twofer.
But it's actually
One ticket?
It could be a 32fer. If you bought it on the 1st of August, and we use it over, those days, and then in 2021 you're going to be able to do it again.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's
that's exciting.
exactly.
So that's a big change.
Well, we're trying to drive business, because some people aren't comfortable leaving yet. So we want to make sure our restaurants, even if they're open at 50%, that they get some business going.
Right.
That's Taste of Dearborn started as an economic driver. 7 years when I came on board, we had probably 700, 800 attendees. And the thing I would ask my restaurants, well, track your bar sales from week to week, and that night in June is a big night for you. And then the other thing is, from my marketing background, if you walk in someplace, you're pretty much 90% sold. If you can get somebody in the front door, and that's the beauty of Taste of Dearborn. So a lot of people will use a lot of our restaurants will honor the menu for a discount if they come back after Taste of Dearborn.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and that's fun. It's, we have poutine, we have French food, we have pizza, we're a burger town now, holy cow. So yeah, whatever you're in the mood for, you don't have to eat it all in one night. You can spread it out over the month.
So let's say that the COVID restrictions are reduced or eliminated. What events are planned or that are on track right now for the end of 2020?
Well, we were going to have the day before, and the day before this event, it's our Chamber Choice Awards and Expo. We usually have a 45 to 50 booth expo, an awards luncheon with Business Leader of the Year, Business of the Year, Startup of the Year, great awards, an elegant lunch at the Henry Hotel, and we got shut down, couldn't have it. So we have modified that. We're going to honor all of our winners, and good golly, we have 2 or 3 from Dearborn Heights and it's picked by a committee, unanimous vote in every category. You have to be nominated. We're going to do a 30-person outdoor luncheon, socially distanced, so our winners still get their moment in the spotlight. And that'll be, so I can't invite the public to come, but watch for it online.
It'll be a super secret location.
We'll be doing it Facebook Live, and I have award videos of all of our winners, because we tell a little backstory about them.
Right.
And then they get an interview. And so a lot of that will be on the website as we get closer to the date, and it'll be broadcast on CDTV and Dearborn Heights TV. I have both crews coming to help spread the good news. So that is upcoming. And depending on how things roll forward, we have an executive beer tasting in November, if we're able to come back indoors at the Henry Hotel.
So what is an executive beer tasting? Because my idea of executives, they're not always beer guzzlers. So.
Well, it's not a guzzling event. It's a tasting event.
A tasting event, okay.
They might guzzle elsewhere.
Okay.
But it's a limited crowd. Originally, when we thought of it, it could be 100 people. But now we don't know. So that's scheduled for November, and that's probably on the front page of my website.
Okay.
And then we have an annual holiday gala. And I was going to have that over at Downey Brewing because we change our space all the time. And we have only 4 fundraisers at the Chamber and our dues. That's what keeps the lights on for us. So we usually have a big auction and everything. And if we're able to move forward, Downey Brewing is really well situated in kind of warehouse space.
Okay, so where is Downey Brewing for those who
They're
are not
over
familiar?
behind Old City Hall. And
Okay,
if
that's
I'd
over
known
in
you were going
East Dearborn on Michigan Avenue near Schaefer.
It's back off of Schaefer, yes.
Yeah,
If you
okay.
were going to ask me for an address, I would have been more prepared. Sorry.
We have cross streets because
Yes.
cross streets are better than addresses
Yeah.
because we can find them that way.
So they have a huge space, and we'll see if we flatten out this new spike, this curve and everything, we might be able to have people together. We don't know. I mean, I tell everybody, COVID right now is like riding a bicycle with a blindfold. You just don't know. And you can make a decision today, and it could be incorrect tomorrow morning. And you just have to pack your patience. We're doing the best we can right now, yeah.
Once the restrictions are lifted, again, you have 18 events throughout the course of the year. Would you be able to just pick right back up on the schedule you have right now, or are you just
we would. We have a committed membership. People and a lot of people, once you join the chamber, this really becomes like it's a family feel. People enjoy seeing each other. People came to the after hours over at Leader Printing really just to see humans. It's like, woo, even if you have your mask on, and it was outdoors, and he had tall tops spaced, individually wrapped lunches, sandwiches and appetizers. So they did a beautiful job of it. People want to interact. We're humans. That's what we do. Yeah, for some of us who are introverts, like my husband, this isn't all bad, but I know he's a little stir crazy.
Well, I'm lucky enough to be able to get out of the house, but my wife is actually saying, I want to go somewhere. I want to do something. We've actually been out to dinner a couple of times, try to focus on Dearborn restaurants, and it's good to get out. And we're happy to see that. We're down about our last 2 minutes, so let's fast forward into 2021. COVID's behind us. Where's the Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce going? Where do you think it's going to be
Still
going?
growing and booming and providing service to our members, exposure. I graduated from U.S. Chamber School. U.S. Chamber School, that sounds so funny.
Do you have to salute you now or what?
No, out of the Villanova campus, and now I sit on that board, and we do that in July, and we train other chamber executives and nonprofits at that particular location. I mean, we go full steam. We are a chamber that we have something every month. I don't think we have a slow month.
And once again, DearbornAreaChamber.org.
.org.
You know, some people still use phones too. Is there a phone number?
There,
and if you call, will it get answered?
It will. Well, right now in COVID, the phones ring to my cell phone, so it will get answered, or you'll get my voicemail saying I'll call you right back.
Okay.
And it's the Dearborn Area Chamber, and it's 313-584-6100.
584-6100, and it goes right through to El Presidente.
It does.
All those great things. So, what's your hope? You hope we get past this, and normalcy. What do you think?
Oh, the chamber crystal ball. Weren't we talking about that?
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie. The spirits are about to speak. So speak.
I think people are going to be. What COVID has taught me, I'm entitled to eat lunch every day. I'm entitled to turn off the screens. Because I go. I didn't know how driven I was until I was forced to stop. And I think people will appreciate a little bit more of their leisure time. Americans are the only country in the world that doesn't use all their vacation time. And I think people will enjoy that. And they'll enjoy, they'll relish getting back together again.
I tell people I'm down to half days now, just 9 to 9.
You have a 40-hour job? I remember when I worked part-time too.
There you go, yeah. That's the whole thing. Well, Jackie Lovejoy, President, Dearborn Area Chamber of Commerce, it's been great having you here. Think about becoming involved with the Chamber, not just for the business connections, but for the social connections and for, camaraderie and all the good things that you can get.
All the knowledge you can get. I mean, if you don't want to hang out and chat and come to every event, it's all on the front page of my website, or we're a phone call away.
And DearbornAreaChamber.org, 584-6100.
584-6100.
There you go, 313.
I'm going to have to put you on the payroll.
There you go. Jackie Lovejoy, it was my pleasure having you
Gary,
here.
a delight.
It's good to be back on the air with KiwaniTalk. We'll see you again next time. I'm Gary Gardner. Bye-bye.